organizations all the time talk about a concept of the analytical journey, right? What does this mean to you? And what are some important considerations for companies looking to be successful in their data analytics journey need to abide by?
I am addicted to this concept of the analytic journey. I live for it. This is the part that I think is exciting about data and analytics. But I think it's important to kind of target this conversation, this specific piece of data and analytics. What I wanted to bring up is we could talk about data and analytics in supply chain management. That's an excellent use case. We could talk about it in manufacturing performance. There's all sorts of ways to use data and analytics. But I think for today, let's focus on a goal of using data and analytics to improve customer data. Let's keep it in that space. And most of my journeys to date have been around the customer space. The majority of my focus has been there. So I speak about it kind of, well, you know what? I'm going to plagiarize. I'm going to steal a concept that my chief data officer has been using for a decade plus now. Wonderful man. It's this concept of see, know, and engage. And think of that as your analytic journey, the beginning of see, the end zone of knowing and engaging with your consumer. Let's define those. I think of see as foundational. I use something called NEPA, N-E-P-A. It means name, email, phone, and address. And how simple can we get? I think anyone who's collecting information on their consumer, they can see that consumer. Wonderful. It is the norm now. And when you hear people talking about segmentation and groupings and anonymized data, this is what they're talking of. It's this level of seeing, this beginning of the analytic journey. Let's talk about the know portion though, where this thing needs to move to. Knowing an individual is knowing more than what they bought with you, but how they engage with other things that are related. Knowing their family structure, their demographics, again, foundational, but also knowing how they engage with your partners or other aspects of, in my industry, the entertainment industry. Are they going to movies? Are they going to concerts? Are they going to games? Are they buying video games? Are they buying jerseys? There's so many ways you can see how an individual engages with your area of expertise from multiple dimensions. Trying to capture that is incredibly important. The NFL, and this is a really strong example, they've got wonderful owned and operated data they're collecting all the time. You know, if you watched a game, you bought something from NFL.com, they've got your information. They're asking if they can use it to market to you in the future. Very traditional. But we've got hundreds of sponsors and partners that are licensed to distribute and sell content that's NFL related. And each of them are sharing data with the NFL. We know when that fan engages all over the place. And we're using that information of engagement across the board to constantly prune our data to make sure it's the most trusted version of reality in this current state. I'm careful not to say perfect data. It's never perfect data, but we're looking for something that is trusted. Yeah, but when we talk about all those incoming sources of information, it's not like they're all standardized, not like they're all normalized. Some are spelled differently. Some are the wrong person. There's all sorts of ways this can come together. It's probably important to talk about identity resolution. It's an incredibly critical piece of taking all these pieces of data and make sure you're connecting them to the right individual. You know, in my case, making sure that you're talking to Will Albers and not my dad. Yeah. Will Albers, not my son. Will Albers. I mean, and we all lived at the same place at some point in time. What can we do to make sure we're talking about the right Will Albers in that right situation? And I still talk about all those incoming pieces. I think of them as breadcrumbs. They're not always whole pieces of information. They're little tidbits of information. And our game with identity resolution is trying to take those breadcrumbs and piece them together to that right person. But hold on to those breadcrumbs. Even if you can't connect them to people, they're gonna be valuable later. It's amazing what you can pick up off the cutting room floor if you just hold on to your data for a decent length of time.